Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Um, we're gonna go over some of last week's trades that I have not taken, and I'll tell you why and what I'm looking forward for this week. Um, so I also trade the Indian markets. So one plan that I have is if market comes if price comes into this area and gives me a move, what do you say, a daily close. So I normally trade swings, so I've started inculcating waiting on daily closes. I work a job, so I'm not available on the charts all the time, or like at will. I can't just stay on the chart, and it does affect the focus because there are days there where I can, and there are days where I can't. But if I'm just trading based on the daily time frame, it gives me enough time and also big moves, and I get to capture the swings of the index itself. So I now have started inculcating trading on the daily, and I have until now haven't had a trade on the daily for on the Indian markets in the Indian markets. So I'm waiting. So if I get a close below with a red candle and then a close back in and a small candle like that, that would be a good entry with a stop loss here and targeting the highs. But that is again far off. I think that will take some time. So if and I've started to trade on the basis of daily closes. So I'm just gonna wait and nothing on Bank Nifty as of now for me. Um, and on Nifty again, this is um, well, if you have a look at it, you can see just based on the daily close that it broke that low and then went back in and then continued higher. Yes, that could have been a trade, but I wasn't even looking at Nifty. I've just put it into my. I've never traded Nifty futures before, but just added it to my this thing just to have a look at it, try and understand how it works. If that gives me an opportunity, let's see. Because Bank Nifty is sideways right now. Um, on the euro, I was actually looking to short the euro dollar from that place down, and then I realized, and then I did not take a trade there because that continued higher. Didn't give me an entry. Now, evidently, then I had to change my chart and analysis, which shows that um, there are some times that you don't just based on the way that you have drawn your support and resistances or your supply and demands, whatever you trade, it gives you it your in a way you are projecting onto the markets. So I have tried to reduce the amount of, especially when it comes to forex. When it comes to the Indian market, I'm quite um, easy, and I find not like, I wouldn't say easy, but because I'm used to, and I've done it for almost 2 years now on the Indian market, I find it a little simpler to gauge the direction of the market and when it is ranging and when it is sideways. I find it a lot. I found out that I'm a lot more patient in the Indian markets than I am in the forex markets. Also, could be because it's a 24-hour market. The daily candle closes itself at around 2:30 in the night. So what I've started to do is I've started to, and again I have to test this. I have to live test it. I have not, which is why I'm, and this is the whole journey that I want to document. So I'm just trying to trade daily closes and then find entries on the smaller time frame in order to um, then take the move higher or lower, whatever direction it is in. But I won't, and of course I'll be holding the trades for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, sometimes maybe. But um, yeah, so the euro dollar, this is something I just forecasted, like it just intuitively came to my mind. But then this should probably like break that high. That was, I think this was a news scandal. I'm not sure what news it was. Must have been an FB. I think it was an FB. And then this was the high created before that. So you can see that this was again a new. This again was a news day, and then that went out, took its high out, and then came lower. I was looking for shorts in here, but then I realized it was ranging. Until then, I was still short, and then I realized, okay, time to. I have to change with the market. Market is showing me a different story. So since the story has changed, I've had to change my. Of course, as a trader, you learn to do that over time. Maybe you're quite late, but you can still catch the second moves, that the impulses and the corrections, and then into the impulses. So on the dollar right now, it's in its impulse mode. So then once it corrects, finds a area to move in a certain direction from, is when probably get a entry. So not really looking at the euro as a plan. So yeah, for now there's nothing on the euro for me. This is a trade that I am upset about, because if I'm not wrong, I did not update this. I should learn to show my losses, of course. I had entered somewhere here, if I'm not wrong, so 3-2, 3-4 or something like that, with a stop loss, which was that, and that got taken out. If I had quietly been a little less greedy about my RR, this would have been the move I'd have been in. Um, Gotten out of drawdown in my funded account evaluation phase and everything. So yeah, and again, this is where I learned that it's important for your daily close for you to, or again, be a little less. What do you say? Fidgety with your this thing, and you need doesn't need to be a small stop loss just to catch another half an hour or something, because of which I missed out on 6 hour. So yeah, this was a brilliant trade that I missed, but that's fine. This would have been a 5 to 6 hour. I mean, it should have still been running. There was no reason to close it. I would have moved my stop loss down. I would have at least locked in about 2 3 hour, maybe no, not 3 hour, maybe like 2.5 2 hour, 2.5. So yeah, it's all a learning. So we move on. There's one thing that I've done earlier previously, is that when I have missed trades, I keep dwelling on it, or if I would have taken it, I would have done this, I would have done that. Mm, Especially when it comes to swing trading, I feel like is a little that is something that I want to work upon, and that is something I have to work upon if I have to like get better, because since there are so many days in between trades that you take, so the minute you miss one, then you don't know when. Then I have to learn to keep myself, like I have to tell myself that it's okay, and I have to learn to be okay with it, and move on from it and say, okay, fine. Whenever the next trade comes, I have to be prepared. I have to mentally be prepared more than on the charts. That is something I'm working on right now. So yeah, so since that, see again, the funny part about this is I took a stop loss here, and when the daily candle actually closed above, trust me, I've seen all of this, and still not entered a trade because of the hesitation. It's like there was a point where I had worked upon it, and the hesitation was not there, because I was doing it regularly, and I was following a routine, and I was quite disciplined outside of the markets, outside of the charts. Like I had a very disciplined lifestyle, and which was catered towards the betterment for my trading, which was showing quite some results. And then, of course, until you stay consistent and disciplined, or you stay disciplined consistently, the markets tend to reward you. Forget the markets tend to reward you. Your mind, my mind, is at peace with whatever I'm doing. I'm a lot more calmer. I'm a lot more efficient. I'm a lot more confident. The minute that goes for a toss, everything else goes. So something to learn from that is that you've got to prioritize the way you live, because I look at this as a sport. It is a sport. Luckily, a sport that you can um, take up and play until, like, even like normal sports people's careers end at 35, and this sport is going to give you a longer, way longer career, as long as you are um, persistent and work on yourself and learn to be disciplined. Um, so yeah, that's something I went on blabbering about. Never mind. So then nothing on the GBP CAD. This one, I'm a bit unsure at the moment from where this is. So what happened was, I looked at this. There was a plan on Friday, Thursday, and on Friday, where I said, okay, I saw that. I saw. So what happened? It broke the support, went back up, followed through on that, broke this low. The low on this is 46, 846, 203.846. This is 840, so it broke it by 6 points. Impulsively broken the volumes as well, suggesting that it was quite impulsive. Then, and this was at 5:36 in the morning, so it was in the Asian session. 7:30 to 10, again, this is something that I have noticed, that once you're in and the volume start dropping, and it's basically a retracement. There's not much volume in it, there's not much selling in it, there's not. So yeah, so when that happened, I was quite confident to place a trade here and just let it run. But again, the hesitation bit or whatever it is came in, and again, I've not tagged into this trade. um, Maybe should be in this trade, but uh, I'm okay with that. I'll look for. I realize that since I moved to the lower time frame, maybe a move up and then somewhere here is where I can enter. Maybe, I'm not sure. This the whatever I've just forecasted may not even happen. It might continue lower. So I'm waiting on that. Based on the 4 hour, it looks quite good. That's how markets have moved previously as well. It just comes sharply in and then sharply goes off, sharply in, sharply goes off. This at least was a good one. Sharply in and goes off again. These were not as sharp because it gave you enough time, it gave you enough confirmations. So since there was a sense of hastiness about it, and I didn't want to get into the trap of, oh, I should have waited, I should not have waited. So I thought, okay, fine. Since it is a GPY pair, I'm sure the other the yen pairs are also retracing, is what I thought. So I found CAD JPY, and over here this is a lot more cleaner. So if I get a good close back in, and then again comes back in, and a retracement on a daily time frame, probably get an entry higher. And that's a plan. That's one of the plans for this week. um, and same goes for AUDJPY as well. So this is a little bit, the CAD JPY and the AUDJPY are a little more cleaner in my opinion. Based on the daily close, it is still weak. So if you get a proper candle, proper buy candle, which is quite strong and closes back in to the support, it gives you a certain bit of confidence that it is going to work. The GBP pair, of course, this says that this of course looks a lot stronger than the AUD and I mean, the Australian dollar against the Japanese yen and the CAD against the Japanese yen, which probably suggests that I should be buying this over those ones. But the technical setup on it itself is something that I have to either, what do you say, learn to say, okay, fine, if this moves in my direction and I miss it, it's fine until other, if not, until and unless I find a better entry or like a more confident entry, or I can wait on CAT JPY and AUD JPY to give me an entry. So that is that. S&P 500, nothing as of now. This is, I mean, this could probably mere the S&P 500 has, I don't know, technically or not, I don't know, but like it just moves. It just keeps on going and going and going and going, and then it pulls back, and that's a good. Like normally the pullbacks are quite good to enter on, which have always provided me a setup. So this one, this was something I forecasted. I did not take. So again, see, that's what I say. There's no point in knowing what the direction of the market is and what it's going to do unless I can execute on it. Um, Again, you saw this. So on the daily close, it kept trending higher, went into the same place where it fell from, retraced into the zone, broke back in, closed well. So then once it had closed well, I had drawn this over here itself that it'll go up and come back in. So I had just placed, I mean, just a exactly just a drawing and not even placed an order. I kicked myself for probably even like it would have probably even given me a BE because it's just 2.4 and probably targeting the highs here, probably given me like point 0.5, point 0.3 hour. But that's not the point of it. The point of it is that I should be taking them. I should be executing on these ones because I was confident of these trades that I'm taking. So, yeah, now if this ends up breaking lower, comes back in, comes here, and then I don't know. So for now, there's nothing on oil as well unless it breaks this low and then. So if, for example, if it chills and breaks this low and like holds this low but then breaks that low, comes back in for a low, I mean for a impulse again, then that will be a good move down. Again, that is a couple of few days away, maybe even next week. So I mean the week after. So that is the plan for this week. There's nothing else that I am looking at. These are the only pairs that I want to trade. Sometimes I look at other forex pairs, but that again is out of boredom, something I have to work on. Um, I've started to realize that there's a lot of externalities that affect the way you end up trading because of the amount of consumption of social media, phones, and your sleep affects the way you trade, the food that you eat. It's all connected. So yeah, it's very important to have a lifestyle which which caters to your trading in a way. Not saying you have to quit your job, no, but then you have to find a balance there where I mean, it's the discipline in life where you just continue having a discipline, living a disciplined life, and um, it'll definitely help your trading and your trading results. More than that, it'll help you mentally, which will then um, what do you say, trickle into your trading as well. So yeah, that's it for this week. And I'll see you next Sunday, or I'll update you in the middle of the week if I'm entering a trade. Thank you.